One of the problems we have in the West right now is a lack of moisture, drought conditions throughout much of the West. People are now starting to understand that a lot of the problem ensues because we have so many acreages, vast acreages, and especially in the federal lands, that are filled with trees, way too many trees per acre. We should optimally have 50 to 75, maybe 100, but not more than that. And much of the acreage has 500, 1,000, even more per acre. When snow falls in the winter time, in the fall and the winter, it's getting caught in the branches, and before it reaches the ground, in many instances, it'll evaporate. Water is not getting to the soil and migrating underground to the streams and creeks and rills that form the basis for a lot of water for agriculture in the future. Dr. James Workman and Dr. Helen Paulus did a study last year that indicated that something like 17 million acre feet of water is being lost to California residents every year because of overgrown forests, overdense forests, and the fact that this water is not getting to the ground. It's just one more reason to talk about managing our forests much more carefully, much better, utilize the timber, thin them out, make them stronger. The other thing, of course, is fire. Fire is, the 800-pound gorilla that's sitting out there, and it's causing more and more problems every year in the West. More and more acreages are getting burned. Federal lands are getting decimated throughout the West. A lot of that is due to the fact we have way, way, way too much growth in the forests. We do not manage the forests in what are now called late successional reserve lands, roadless lands, riparian areas, and it's making it more and more difficult with all the restrictions we have in place to manage our forests effectively. The BLM locally has been mandated because of a court case last year to harvest up to what the old Northwest Forest Plan mandated down here, which is 57 million board feet in this district. They have been, up until last year, selling about 20 million and harvesting about anywhere from 5 to 7 million feet a year, which is probably close to about 3%, 5% of annual growth, which you can see is a big problem developing. The more and more growth you have that's not getting taken care of, the denser your forests are getting. The decision by Judge Leon back in Washington mandated that they live up to the BLM must live up to the mandates of the Northwest Forest Plan. So that's helped to some degree, but the catching up will never take place. We're never going to get close to, even 50% of annual growth from a harvesting standpoint unless we have some major modifications of either the Endangered Species Act or have some kind of legislation that mandates, healthy forest restoration type practices. That's just not happening right now.